Welcome to Arlena's Corner. In today's video, I just want to do a quick review of a Bible that I purchased about either 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's the KJV Journaling Bible with Prompts. And it's from, is it Barber? Yes, Barber Publishing. Um, about a few weeks ago, I went to Ali's to grab something. And normally when I go to Ollie's, I just like to go through the book section. Not that I need any books or any Bibles, because I have more than enough books and Bibles. I'm not trying to collect any, I'm not trying to make a big old collection of Bibles, but yes, I do have more than one Bible. And it seemed like they had just got this shipment in. And it was just sitting there staring at me dead in the face. And matter of fact, yes, they did just receive them in because I was in there earlier that week and it was not there. So I knew it was new. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh my goodness, another type of Bible? They got so many different Bibles, Bibles for this, Bible for that. And I'm like, for a minute, I was a little disgusted. I'm like, you don't need all of that. Just need you just need a Bible. But anyway, I'm like, oh my goodness, what next? I'm thinking to myself. So as I got closer, I saw that it was KJV. I said, oh, okay, well, that's a good start right there for me because at this point, I'm currently using KJV. Graduated up now from the NKJV. I still use the NKJV from time to time, but at this point, I'm more in my KJV. But anyway, I had no intentions of buying another Bible. Like I said, I have more than enough Bible. The only Bible that I was interested in buying later on in the future, of course, is a leather bound life application keepsake Bible with my name engraved on it for a keepsake, to pass to someone, when I'm no longer in existence. And that's not something I had any intentions of getting right now. So I know I wasn't going to buy another Bible or anything like that because, like I said, I have more than enough Bibles. I think I have like 7 or 8, something to that effect. And no, I'm not really collecting them, but I definitely I wanted to have a couple more KJVs just to put up. But like I said, I wasn't interested in buying no Bible. So as I walked closer, I kind of read the title. It said KJV Journaling Bible with Prompts. Now I have an NKJV journaling Bible from, I believe it's Zondervan, and it's pretty good. Um, but I didn't really need another journaling Bible or another Bible, like I said before. But then when it said with prompts, I'm like, with prompts, what does that mean exactly? So I picked it up, took it out of the dust cover, or out of the box actually, and I opened it up. And when I opened it up, I was I was amazed. I was like, whoa. I was really taken back. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I could use this. No, I mean, not that I needed it, but I'm like, you don't need another Bible. So I had to really will myself not to buy that Bible that particular day. I said, no. I said, it's something that I could use. Not that I could, it's something I would enjoy, especially dealing with grief at this point. Um, then I said to myself, you have like 3 KJVs. Just get some, prompts from off of the internet, and there you go, like you did in the past. But then I said to myself, it would be really good to do this, especially right now with, you know, trying to come through that emotionally. I think it would be really great. So I didn't buy it from Ali's, and actually the one that I saw in Ali's was it was the floral cover, hardcover, with a peach spine. So I decided, I said, you know what, let me go to CBD, see if they have this Bible. What I'll do is I'll put it in my cart, and later on in the year, I'll treat myself if I choose to do so, and I'll get it because, like I said, I didn't really need it. but I definitely saw that it was a good Bible and it was something that I know I would be able to use. So I went to CBD, and when I went to CBD, they had the one that I initially saw at Ollie's. Not that I care what the cover looked like, it didn't matter to me. I just, you know, wanted to put it in my wish list for later on. And then this one came up as well. And it was the last one. And when I saw that price, I said, oh no, I couldn't leave that there. I knew that was a sign. I had to get this Bible. So that's exactly what I did. So here we are today. So enough of all of that. So yes, so this is the KJV Journaling Bible with prompts. Okay, so basically what it says here, and this, by the way, is the copper leaf version. And this is published by Barber Publishing. They publish a lot of devotionals and stuff like that. So it's a really good Bible. It says here, capture your own reflections and expressions alongside the time-tested King James text. This KJV Journaling Bible with Prompts is a big, handsome book featuring ample writing space. It provides a refreshing way for you to with and interact with and mediate on God's word. Printed on high quality paper and ideal for any media. The KJV Journaling Bible with Prompts provides you with a blank canvas. So this Bible basically, they're telling you, which it is, it's great for study notes, prayer requests, word art, doodling, coloring, and then it goes on. You can use this powerful Bible in any way that draws you closer to its author. The God who created us, keeps us, and redeems us. Other features include the words of Christ in red, in text subject headings, book by book summaries. The KJV Journaling Bible with Prompts can become a powerful keepsake of your own spiritual journey. So let's take a look at the inside, and you'll see why I fell in love with this Bible. Okay, so as you could see, copper. This is the presentation page, KJV Bible with prompts for journaling and personal reflections. So it also has helpful Bible references, book by book summaries, where to find key stories and events in the Bible, key Bible characters, important women of the Bible passages for times of personal need, an overview of the Bible. It's a really, 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 really good Bible. And no, I don't get paid for doing this review. I'm just sharing it because maybe someone else could be interested in it as well. So this is why I bought this Bible. As you can see here, we have Genesis. Now the text is pretty small. If I remember correctly, I think it was 9.5 when I did the research on it. I think it's 9.5. It's a 9.5 font. So it's very small. So if you ain't got good eyes, but I can see, and I can see it very well, even though I wear glasses, but I can see it, and I'm not wearing my glasses right now. But if you probably got a little eyesight problem, that might be a little issue. It'd be nice maybe if they printed it in a much larger version, large print, so that for those who might not be able to handle the 9.5 font. But the text is, they're side by side, columns side by side. The headings, just like it said. But this is what I bought this Bible for. These are the journaling prompts. This is one of them. And each page from Genesis 1 to Revelation has a journaling prompt. Now, as you can see, it has a lot of space here. If you want to do some journaling right here, as far as answering the prompt, you could do sermon notes, like they said, or you could do doodling. I'm not into the doodling and the drawing. That's just not my thing. But for those who might be interested in that, you can. Um, this for me is faith journaling. Now, I discovered faith journaling in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. And it was something that I truly, truly enjoyed. I'm telling you, I enjoyed. It was like, even though hell and high water was coming from every direction, those prayer journaling prompts really helped me to, I mean, seriously speaking. And the great thing about faith journaling or prayer journaling, but kind of we speaking about faith journaling, it asks you like questions, like thought provoking questions that, from certain things we may shy away from personally. And it kind of really allows you to think deep and to really be honest with yourself and to express your emotions as far as journaling by answering these prompts and being honest with ourselves and most importantly honest with God. And it was truly a blessing for me. And I knew, like I said, when I picked it up and I opened it, I said, you know what? Emotionally, I'm a little bit in the dumps. I know by the grace of God, this would be something I can use. And that's why I got it, like I said. So the first question here is, what do you love most about creation? If you want, you could answer it right here, or you can get a piece of, like those sticky kind of pads, like slim sticky pads, and write on it, or you just write directly on it, or you can answer briefly using a sticky note, whatever works for you. Now, I might write a few things, but I think I'm going to have a separate journal to kind of elaborate a little more as far as to answering more in depth on some of these faith journaling questions. Now, I might put some brief answers there, or I might do a quick prayer journaling there, or whatever the case might be. But this is one of the reasons, this is the main reason I got this Bible. And here it is, as you can see. On the left hand side, the questions are at the top. And on the right hand side, the questions are on the bottom. Now, the question over here says, how do you find rest amid the stresses of life? Hey, that's a good question. Very good question. And sometimes, we got to be able to, I'm like myself, I'm always on the go, going, 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 going. There's always something to do. And it's like, Jesus, help me. I'm like, I thought I left New York because I wanted to slow down, but it seems like I'm going harder here than anything else. But sometimes, as women or people in general, we are just always going, 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 especially with the rise in costs with everything. So you're just going, 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 like you're on autopilot. So sometimes it's good to be able to slow down for a minute, whether it's early in the morning if you can, or when you get home from work in the evening, while you're winding down, and just grab one of those questions, whether you write it here or a separate journal or a notebook, whatever, and just be able to reflect on what is being asked of you. Like, it's asking here, how do you find rest amid the stresses of life? Great question. I know I can answer that, and I need to answer that question. And then over here it says, what does temptation pose? When does temptation pose the greatest danger to you? So it really asks you thought provoking questions. And the questions are not just being asked to say they're being asked. The questions are related to something as far as the text. So it's really, really good. So after you like finish reading and answering some of these questions, I think it's just amazing. That's just my opinion. And paper, pretty good. It's not the thickest, but it's pretty good for what I am going to be using it for. Like I said, I'm not going to be coloring and doodling in it, so it definitely can take a highlighting. It can use a highlighter, I'm sure of that. Um, and yeah, just I would say maybe if you got a pen that bleeds, might want to think twice or put something between so it doesn't bleed over, onto the other page. But yeah, this is just some of it. So I'm just gonna um, just you know turn a few pages. Here's a good question. How has jealousy affected you in the past? Now, I'm sure it has affected a lot of us in the past. And some of us might even still struggle with it. Let's, for some reason. But either way, it's a great question. It's a thought-provoking question. It makes you these questions make you reach deep inside and really like look in and examine ourselves. Because daily I have to examine myself. I do. And I do. Another question here. When have you failed to keep a promise? And what was the result? I mean, oh my goodness. This is just great. Let's see what one of these questions say up here. It says, how often do you thank God for your abilities? Hmm, I'm not sure. But I thank God every day for life. I know that much, if that's what that means. But never thought of thanking him for my ability. Well, I do thank him for my abilities because yeah, I do. For certain, yeah, I do. But these are great questions. What responsibilities do you have right now? Oh Lord, don't ask. How does God help you to meet them? I mean, oh my God, these are just beautiful, beautiful well thought out questions. How much value does God place on human life, including life in the womb? Great subject. Great, great subject. How does the light of the Lord shine through you? But yeah, so this is what it was talking about. You have like the headings as far as paragraph or subject headings, like dividing like the what is it, the chapter in different portions. So and it's really beautiful, really, 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 really beautiful. See, and there's questions on every single page from Genesis to Revelation. Left hand side question is at the top, right hand side question is at the bottom. So yeah, so I'm also going to include some snapshots up close in the video so that you can get a little better look as well, because I don't know if my camera is capturing everything, and when you're a one-man show how that goes. But yeah. Mm. When have you helped restore a lost item to a neighbor? Good question. How important is it to leave an inheritance? It's extremely important. And as far as inheritance, I'm talking about a godly inheritance.